any should be lost.
Amen.
I'm a little off track. I'm a little off track, but that's what this word, that's what's going on here, is God's will to get everybody into relationship with Him.
Amen.
And so when you have that child, that holy thing, because God has overshadowed your life, and you have that holy thing, and it's kind of burning a hole in your soul because you don't know what it's just in there, and I got to figure out how to get it out. After you have confirmation, go forth. Now, just like I said with Mary, she knew the neighbors was going to talk. They was going to call her, who's going to believe? Who's going to believe? And some people going to look at you and say, God don't want you talking to His people. God didn't tell you to start that business. God didn't tell you to move to Texas, because they don't understand. And it's not what has always been. And then people will look back and they'll say, I remember when you used to, and you can fill in that blank on your own time. But people are always going to remember when you used to do something. But the thing is, right now, this is what God is doing with me. This is what God is doing in me. This is what God is doing through me. So you have to, A, hear the message of the Lord, know His voice, know His personality, know His characteristics. All of that comes from relationship. B, seek out confirmation. It will bring peace to you. It will make it clear to you, this is what I'm supposed to do. After you got that confirmation, seek out confirmation, because you want to. The devil's talking too. He's talking. And he was in the presence of God. So just like he did with Eve, has God said? Did God really mean it the way Did He really? Is that really what He wants? So we're going to seek our confirmation a couple times here. And it's not to delay God, but it's to be sure the voice I'm hearing is from God and not somebody mimicking. Not something that's just in us and we saying, okay, it's the Lord speaking to me. So we're going to seek confirmation for a second time. And when we go forth, we're going to accept the will of God. We're going to know that God is with us. He's going to give us the strength to deal with the ridicule. He's going to give us the strength to deal with the judgment. He's going to give us the finances we need to get where He told us to get to. He's going to give us the finances to be a blessing.
Yes.
When we get there, there's no point in the Lord sending you to Africa to minister if you don't have no money or nothing to give them when you get there. There's no point in you having to mortgage your house to get that plane ticket, and when you come home, you don't have nowhere to sleep, nowhere to live, because you done got to Africa because God told me to go. But you ain't been blessed by it, and you haven't been a blessing to anybody else because you're homeless. So we have to use wisdom, and that's why you seek out that confirmation 2, maybe even 3 times, until you find that peace, and you can say, I know that this is the Lord. That's where the grace. That's where the favor comes in. Because favor is unmerited. It's unwarranted. You can't earn it. You can't lose it. So if God is telling you to do a thing while you're seeking out that confirmation, and I keep saying seek. Seek is an action. It's a verb. You have to be doing something to seek that out. You don't want to just sit back and say, I heard the Lord say this, but He gonna bring confirmation to it. He might, but in the meantime, I'm looking for it everywhere I go. If I'm in Giant Eagle, is that my confirmation over there in Alfred? I'm at Walmart. You got my confirmation? I'm looking because I want to hear and I want to know that I'm doing the will of God.
Amen.
I'm living right now by my motto, which is, if God opens the door, I'm going through it.
Amen.
I'm a nervous wreck. I'm telling you, I'm shy really in myself. I'm shy, I'm introvert, I don't like people looking at me. But if God said to do it, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because He has put me to do it. And that's where I want you all to be. God has equipped you to do and to bring forth whatever He has put inside of you.
Yes.
Amen.
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 Go on, girl.
I'm going to close here, but this is what I want to leave you with in closing. There is none so fierce as a woman in protection of her family and friends.
Amen.
There is none so brave as a woman in pursuit of her destiny. There is none so courageous as a woman who knows that she is loved.
All right.
There is none so strong as a woman who knows who she is and whose she is.
Yes.
So let us strive every day to develop these characteristics in ourselves so that we can be a benefit to not only ourselves and our generation, but the generation coming behind us.
Amen.
'Cause they need us. They need us to step up and be in the place that God has called us to be. We need to be in a place where there are mothers like they used to be who won't judge you, but will come alongside you and say, baby, let me help you. Let me take you and buy you a dress that's appropriate for church. Because the thing is, we need to get them here so that the Lord can work on them. So when they come here, don't beat up on them. They've been beat up and they ran in here because they heard there was help.
Come on now, preacher.
So I'm just saying, and I'm probably middling, don't have nothing to do with the message today. But what I'm saying is, when they come, don't judge the outside. God is working on the inside. If you feel like it's such an offense to your sensibilities, then what you do is you go in your pocketbook and you take that child with her street clothes on to a store and you buy her some appropriate clothes. And you say, baby, when you come to church, wear this. This looks pretty on you. This flatters you. This is what God is looking for. You got to show them love because they get murdered out there. They get murdered out there. And they are out there waiting to realize that they're blessed and highly favored too. So we have to show them, and we have to be in a place where the glory of God is showing in our lives so that we can then pass it on to them. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I tell you, you got yourself preaching there, right?
Go ahead, girl.
Yes, sir. Yeah, she got it.
Let us all stand, please. Evangelist Elliott delivered a great message here. Good preaching ought to be liberating. It ought to be good for your soul. You ought to feel blessed like you have been made better than you was before you heard the message. Today, LeShawne has raised the bar for us on the opening part of our Women's Day. And she has delivered a beautiful message. It really has appealed to our soul. God does want to confirm His will in us. And we know that it is God at work. We hear His voice. None other can speak the way He can. And I like what she's saying. God can use anybody. And He will use whom He chooses. Hearing such a powerful message, we want to deliver at this time an invitation. There maybe have been some words spoken here today. Some message, part of the message that you have witnessed, that bless you to want to give your heart to Jesus Christ. So we open the door of the church and we want to make that appeal. If you don't know Jesus today, in the free pardon of your sin, that means if the Lord was to come in the next moment, would you be sure enough within yourself that you'd have a home in heaven? That's what it's all about, getting ready to meet the King. And He is coming. Evangelist said it won't be long. The Lord is coming. He's coming back. Will you be ready when Jesus comes? Is there one today? The door of the church is open. Whosoever will.